Hey guys, welcome to Laurie's Little Studio. I'm Laurie, and today I'm going to be doing a couple of little odd jobs. Things that I've been kind of mulling around in the back of my mind. I haven't really put them all together in project form. It's still kind of out there, but that's what I'm going to be doing. So this is that, if you watched my last video, which will be linked in the description box below this video, I had this extra large pom-pom that I just made a little chain for. I braided some of this yarn and just attached it to a lobster claw D-ring and attach that to my scissors. I won't lose these scissors. And then I've just been hanging my scissors on a hook over here that I will show you in picture form right here. So this yarn right here I have left over, and I don't believe that I'm going to be receiving the second 14 by 14 pillow form and 14 by 14 pillow cover. So I thought what I would do is get my old crochet hook out and crochet something. This sort of reminds me of a Nordic type pattern. This is the solid red. It has like this long strand of solid red, and then you hit the stripe, and then you have a long, right here is where it connects, and then you have this long strand of the stripe, and then it goes back to the long strand of the red. So I'm thinking I might try to do a braided headband. And I don't know if you are someone who crochets, but I thought I would just do a little quick tutorial-ish on that. I'm going to move my camera a little bit. So this is the way that I crochet, and it is by no means a proper way, I'm sure. I wasn't trained. I taught myself decades ago, and I'm not about to break an old habit. So this is just my way of doing the chain stitch and then adding a double crochet, which may or may not be an actual double crochet in technical terms. It's just what I personally call a double crochet. So basically I'm about to teach you something that may be wrong. Okay, so the way I make a loop is I hold it like so, and I wrap this around, and I go through this loop that I've made originally. So original loop, loop around, and then just push it through that loop and pull like so. So loop, wrap, push through the loop, pull. Now I don't want to waste that much of this. I don't think I need to. So yeah, there we go. Then I put my crochet hook, and this one happens to be a N 9 millimeter. All right, and then I generally, when I put this on the loop or on the crochet hook, I push this through, and then I turn it so that this little tail is kind of over here by my right hand, so I can hold it with my needle like so. I keep saying needle, it's a hook. Clearly it's a hook. All right, then I do this right here and this. So my pointer finger is like so. So I go right here on the inside of my pinky, then I put these two fingers like so, and then loop it over my forefinger. So this is the way I crochet. I have a little bit more control over this piece of it right here. All right, I go behind. I've seen some people do it this way. I cannot wrap my head around that. So I pull it this way, that's one chain, and then second chain. And I want to keep this loose because this yarn is very chunky. Alright, so as of right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 chain stitch. And I'm going to just continue. I want to be able to utilize the slack with the hook. I don't want to have to be pulling and tugging. It needs to stay kind of loose without being pulled by me. The hook is doing the work. I've noticed when I crochet, I have to be mindful of this. My very first couple of stitches are always tighter, and then as I go along, they tend to get a little bit less tight. So it's a tension situation. All right, I've lost count. $50. All right, so I have 50 chain stitch right here. So that's 50. And this is extremely heavyweight yarn. The information about the yarn is in the middle of this ball. So this is Wool Ease, which is a Lion brand yarn. It feels like wool, but it is acrylic, 100% washable. And it is 5 ounce. And the recommended, yeah, it's called super bulky. I'm looking for a hook. Okay, here it is. The recommended size is 9mm. So this size needle, again, this size hook is what you will need. This is a B-O-Y-E, boy, I think is how it's pronounced. I've had it forever and ever and ever. Literally, before my kids were born, I had this. It's been with me for a very long time. Probably back when I was in maybe college, many, many years ago. Okay, so we've established that. All right, so the next step for me now is I want to go, this right here is not considered part of the chain that we see here. This is the extra stitch, but we are going to go into this one right here, the one that this one is emerging from. So right here, this top is where we will reinsert the hook. So I'm going to wrap, so I go from the front to the back and hold it and reinsert that, and then from the back to the front. I've seen other people do it this way. Again, I cannot get my head around that. I don't know how they do it. I really don't. All right, and then again, I'm going to go from the front to the back, and I'm going to pull it through 2 stitches. So I have 1 and 2. I'm left with 2 on the hook. I'm going to pick up another bit of thread or yarn and pull it through these 2. And I'm not going to make another chain. I'm just going to pick up yarn and go into the next chain stitch. I'm going to go here I am coming into this stitch. I'm going to loop around it. I don't know if that's visible, but we'll try. So here it is right here. I'm going to loop, turn my hook so that it hooks and I'll emerge. And then I'm going to hook from the front and go through 2 and then through 2 again. So I have that. Alright, I'm going to hook from the front, go into the next chain, and from the back pick it up. I should have 3, hook, pull through 2, hook, pull through 2. Now I have 3 double stitches from the front to the back. I'm going to go into the next, already done that one. Sometimes it's hard to see when you have solid yarn. Where am I going? There we are. Okay. And then I'm emerging from my chain. I'm going to go in from back here, hook, then from the front, pull through, like that. Okay, so here we are. We're at the very end of our row. We've done an entire 50 stitches right here. I think it looks kind of cool. And so what do we do next? Well, we have one more stitch that we need to do, and that is I'm going to wrap just like I would normally, and I'm going to put my hook into the very first stitch that I made. I'm going to leave this little tail out. I'm not going to try to catch it in there. Okay, and then I'm going to pull it through just like I'm going to do a double, like so. But this time I'm going to pull it through all of the stitches. So all of those 3 that were on, we'll do it again. Alright, so I looped behind. I'm going to push it through that very first chain. I'm going to hook on to my yarn. And here it is right here. I'm going to come through that one and then through that one and finish that stitch. Now I want this to slip a little onto this piece right here. I'm trying to get it to slip through. All right, and I'll go ahead and take this hook off and pull, and then just kind of distribute these across so that they're straight like that. Not bunched up, but basically straight. Okay, I'm not going to cut anything yet. What I need to do, somewhere in this messy sewing room, I have a plastic sewing needle. It's purple. I've seen it 1,000 times. I've been tripping over it. I really want to make sure that I cut a long tail, and I'll just give you a measurement, and then you can either add or subtract 1 inch depending on your preference. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is where I want to be. So somewhere in that range. Okay, then, all right, so here's that loop that I left. I'm going to pull it so that it is a very small little bump off to the side right there. It's still that loop, but it's just kind of barely there off to the side. Now I'm going to thread my yarn. I don't want to split the end, so I'm folding it over the needle and then carefully pushing this folded over yarn through this eye, if I can. I prefer to do it that way only because I don't want to fray this up too bad. Not that it's gonna matter in the end, but I don't want it in case I need it. All right, so with this just kind of hanging out, I now will kind of pull a little bit more, just like that. I don't want this to come out, but I just kind of want it bumped off to the side. It kind of looks like one of these stitches. Now I'm gonna weave this like I'm doing a straight stitch on fabric by hand. Okay, go all the way across, which really shouldn't be that far. Stay close to the top and make sure that the last stitch you do is through that loop, like so. Okay, right, now we're just going to leave this as is. We're not going to do anything else with it except unthread the needle. Now I will need to make 4 more of these. So I'll have 4 more double crochet pieces that look just like this. I'll have 5 of these to finish this project, and I'm not going to torture you by making you watch me crochet 4 more of these, but that's it. Now, honest to goodness, if you wanted to make a hairband and this was wide enough, you could easily just make this into a hairband by stitching these 2 ends together, and then there you go, you have a hairband. But I want mine to be wide so that I can put it over my ears if I'm outside, and I want it to be braided. I like that look. So that's what I'm going to do. And I may actually end up having to purchase another skein of this Wool-Ease Thick and Quick stripes, and I believe this one is called Crimson. Yes, 602. Hey, almost. There we go. 602 Crimson is the color. There's another number. I don't know what all these are. They may be, that's the actual batch number maybe. The color, run number. I don't know. It won't bother me if there's a slight variance. But anyway, this is what I have, and I will try to get that done. So moving on to another project. So this box right here is one that I received this ring in, right here. And I use it to store other bits and bobs. Just, I have little, you know, they're not that, they're just fake jewelry. But I like them. I like to look at them. This is one of my favorite little inexpensive rings that I wear sometimes. I don't have a non-favorite ring, I'll put it that way. Okay, but I wanted to decorate this box just a little bit with some glitz. And one of the things that I know that I can do is I can cover it with paper, but I don't. I could cover it with yarn. No, that's not what I want either. I do know what I want, and I'm going to get it, and I'll show you when I come back. Okay, so I thought that they were still in this tube. Evidently, this does not stay on very well because they're all in the very bottom of my hazel bag. So my plan here is to remove all of the items in my hazel bag. Wow, I think I just dropped a couple, yep. And I'm going to just pour them in to the lid of a jam jar. Well, would you look at that? One of Brother Louie's feet ended up in the hazel bag. That's funny. Okay, so there they all are, mixed in with some threads. I have learned over the years that if you are pouring beads, do it over something like a paper towel or a cloth. And if they bounce out of here, they'll hit this cloth and they won't roll to the floor. Unless they bounce from the jam lid onto something that's not cloth or a paper towel. There we go. There's just a few more trapped in the corner. Did we get them? We did. Okay, so let's put all of this back. I'm going to go ahead and turn the glue gun on. I don't think I'm going to need it, but it'll be on just in case. Oh, there's another one. Okay. Now, I decided to go with this Jewel-It glue. The lid's already been opened. Okay. Now I could just completely cover this whole thing with jewels, which would be kind of pretty actually. Or I could do a design. I feel more confident just completely covering the whole thing with jewels because a design might be uneven. And it's my little box and I can do this however I want to. I feel like I need to poke a pin through here to reopen the channels. There we go. And there may not, oh, whoa, okay. That's that. Now I'm going to use a piece of paper to spread this with because I discovered that that glue does not like to come off of skin very well. And it was annoying me tremendously. Clearly have too much glue. I might have to use this glue on another project. Let's see, what can I put this on? I'll just set it right there. Okay, now I'm just going to do this. Be brave. cute. What in the world is this? It's not a bead. And I can just let that dry. Very cute. Okay. So I need to use this glue and do another project. What will I put this on? Well, I found another one of my little storage boxes. I've had it for a very long time. You can see it's kind of discolored on the top, but I have some of my treasures in here. So this I made a long time ago. I am a Auburn University in Alabama. I'm an Auburn fan. So I made that 100 years ago. This is from one of my beloved dogs. I don't need to put the address on there, but it was Shiloh, who was a black lab. I got him as a puppy out of a box in front of a grocery store. And then these are just little necklace charms that I've had for a while. They go in there. I save random things in weird places. We'll just leave it at that. I also found my beautiful blue glass beads. And I'm going to spread this glue on the top of this box. Like so. And I don't mind if they get mixed up. I'm sure that would probably drive some people crazy, but it doesn't bother me. I suppose if I wanted to, I could fold this way. Then I'd just have too much to deal with later. I have decided I'm going to keep these beads in a jar rather than try to keep them in that tube. All right, I'm going to, oh, they're sticking, how fun. What did I think they were going to do? And that's another thing I was going to point out. I have made, ooh, there's a needle in there. I made the decision a while ago. I might have mentioned that in a video. I'm not sure. But I made the decision that I have too much stuff in my closet that I'm not using, and I don't know what I'm saving it for. So I've decided I'm going to just start using the stuff in my closet. Alright, so the beads are in the jar, right there. Got the lid. Now I'm going to make a pom-pom to just glue to the top of this. I've cut a piece of my green yarn and I just chose a random length, only because I just want to make sure I have enough. I'm going to make a huge pom-pom. And when I say huge, I mean really thick. So, I don't want to wrap this on my hand because if it's too thick, I won't be able to remove it from my hand. So I need to get a piece of cardboard. Let's go with this. This is perforated right here along the sides. Okay. Uh-oh. I forgot I have my glue gun is on. I'll probably end up using that. I think I can, yeah, I'll just wrap it. This will give me a lot of opportunity, a lot of real estate. Smash it down. Now, if you've got big bulky yarn like this and you're making a huge pom-pom, you're not going to have it behave as well as this is. It will want to just fall over. So just be mindful of that. All right, we're going to set this down halfway right across the center. And I'm going to do a double half knot. And this is a trick. If you're wrapping a present and you're wrapping it with a piece of yarn you want to, or ribbon, if you do a double half knot, they will stay. You don't need someone to hold that piece down. All right, flip that over and do another double half knot and pull that as tight as you can. And then finish off that knot with just a single half knot right there. Okay, so you should have, I always call these little buns. It's like a little bun. Okay, and we're going to have fun cutting these loops. I recommend just doing it in little increments across, like so. And you're going to find some that you missed in that first go. They'll be down in there, so you'll have to get those too. There's always a few. All right. And then this particular yarn is like, I don't know, it feels like it's been conditioned with hair conditioner. So if you kind of do that, you'll get it to poof out a little bit, but it wants to stay kind of clumped. It's very interesting. All right, now I'm just going to start cutting. I want these fairly even and fairly short. If you smash the top and the bottom together, you'll get a little bit more even cut. I'm back to yarn dust. Oh, I had all but eliminated yarn dust. Okay. There we go. It's extremely round and heavy. There are a few more little cuts to make. Wow, that's cute. There's a couple there that need to be tamed. All right. I'm just going to put about that much glue, hot glue, right in the middle, and pluck that down right on top. That's so cute. Now for an added surprise, it'll definitely stand out in my sewing room. So there's that project done. And then for the last weird little project of the day, this is a picture frame, or a photo frame, I guess it says right there, that I believe was purchased at either the dollar store or maybe Michael's. I'm gonna say the dollar store. And I have been looking at this and trying to come up with a great idea for something, and I finally had the idea today. So I will be right back with my supplies. Okay, so you probably know what this is here. So this is a piece of felt. It is just a plain piece of felt. And when I do wool felting, I often do it on a piece of felt. Like you could buy this at the dollar store. I know that's not really felt, but we're going to call it felt. The reason that I'm using it here is because I would need a backing if I were to do the project that I have in mind, which if you look at these colors, you can probably figure it out. I'm thinking about making a little Christmas tree. That off of there. Here's some red for some little ornaments, some white for some little lights, and then just have it framed in this little tiny frame. If you're not a felter, if you're not somebody who enjoys doing that type of project, you may get these in the mail. I got this pack yesterday. I don't want to show my mailing address, but I do have to take a picture of this real quick to send it to my sister because this is too funny. Oh my goodness. How in the world they convolute these things is just beyond me. Okay, she is gonna flip. It is from the Gallery collection, and I received some of these last year, and I used them. I used all of them. I don't purchase cards from them because I make my own. However, they're such good quality, these designs, that I'm not going to, you know, not use them. Now, these are all obviously way too big to use in a frame this size, but if you wanted to frame, if you wanted to make a pretty frame, if you wanted to have something in a frame for the holidays that you could then take out and put something else in, these are great for that. You can hide where they've got, you know, the name of your company. That would be a really cute, in a picture frame. I think it would be adorable. I mean, we're all up with the red trucks, right? That's just everything. This tree is gorgeous. But anyway, I wanted to give you that idea. Don't throw them in the garbage because, my goodness, even though they're, you wouldn't want to use this, right? This has got like a whole bunch of information and about their business, which I don't blame them for doing, but it does render them a little bit less usable unless you cut it off here and either just wrote on the other side of the blank side of the card and put it in an envelope. You could do that, but I think they make great framed art, and there's 3 right there. So I do save these. I do like them, and I won't throw them away. All right, so, but I am going to do some needle felting. So I need to open this and kind of get an idea of my size. Okay, so rather than playing with a piece of glass, I usually just use the paper that comes with the frame. It's the same size. I'm probably going to try to avoid going right up to the edges with my design, but okay. Okay. Now I just need to kind of mark where I feel like now I'm going to take my little piece of felt. I'm going to sketch out my little tree. Okay, and I have, oh, that's going to be cute. I have some brown roving that I can use for, there we go, for the trunk of my tree. Okay, if you've not done a project with wool roving before, this is what it looks like. Oftentimes you'll just get it in a bag, kind of loosely stuffed into a bag, but sometimes you'll be able to find it. In fact, I think at Hobby Lobby they will sell it in a little bun like this, but it comes in just gorgeous shades. And one of the best things about it is that you can blend, literally blend. So I have two different types of, I don't know what this is called. It's just what you pounce on with your needle. And I keep my needle selection in one of these tubes like this. Now there are gloves that you can get if you feel like you need it. I have actually stabbed myself a couple of times. These, by the way, are just little eyes for a bird project that I did last year. Little bird. Okay, so sometimes you won't need to have your project on a piece of felt like this. Sometimes you are just simply going to roll up a little ball like this, and then you're going to add like this, and you'll just start punching with your needle like this, carefully, of course. I do recommend that you really roll that up pretty tight though. But this is one of my preferred methods. And this is a very soft foam, and this of course is like a styrofoam. I'm only using this over this because this project is a little bit too big for that one. So I think, and my needles are of varying lengths. And I have extras because they do break. Alright, I'm going to pull a bit of this, like so. And I'm going to try to keep it within the lines. Poppy and Frankie and Tori. Hope you guys are doing good. Next on the list is for me to say thank you very, very much for watching. I appreciate the fact that you spent time with me. I hope you found a project in the list that we did that you would be interested in, have fun doing, and will enjoy. And if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, I hope you'll consider doing so. And anytime you engage with my videos, whether you like them, subscribe, share, comment, it really helps my channel, and I appreciate it so much. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.